Hello everyone, thank you for having me. My name is Sanchit Pathak and I am second year Electronics and Communication student at Rajiv Gandhi Government Engineering College, Nagrota, Bhagwan. Today I would like to discuss about some topics of unit probability, theorem and random processes. Firstly, I am going to present you about ergodic process, then I will share about the Gaussian process, and finally I will talk about the properties of cross and autocorrelation functions. So let's begin with the first topic, ergodic process. A process is said to be ergodic in nature if time averages are equal to ensemble averages. Now, what is a time average? Time averages are taken along the time. If the time averages are taken from minus t to positive t, then total time is 2t, where t approaches to infinity. Hence, the time averages for time taken from minus t to positive t, then the formula for calculating the time average becomes mu of xt is equals to 1 upon 2t integration of x of t to dt when the limits are minus t to t, where xt is the random process. Now, the ensemble averages are taken across the process. They are taken at some fixed time instant. Hence, ensemble averages are taken at fixed time while time averages are taken for whole process. Now, for calculating the ensemble averages, we consider a random process x of t, that is stationary with n equiprobable realizations, written as xjt for j is equals to 1 to n. Now, to find expectation of random process x of t, we fixed a time to tk that is called as random variable that is independent of time. So, the expectation of e function xtk is equal to 1 upon n summation of x function tk for j is equals to 1 approaches to n. And second moment of random process x of t is represented as expectation of x square t, that is expectation of x square tk is equals to 1 upon n summation of j is equals to 1 to n xjt xj square tk. Therefore, for wide sense stationary random process, expectation of x function tk and expectation of x square function tk are independent of time tk. This is all about example averages. So, moving towards the next topic, I will be talking about Gaussian process. So, Gaussian processes are hugely powerful tool for regression. Now, to mention the fact that they occupy a very special place in theory of probability, and I will mention a few applications of Gaussian process, perhaps the area in which they are widely used in what's called geostatistics, which is roughly speaking modeling spatial aspects of the world on sort of large scale. Another application very different of Gaussian process is to things which are revolving around time. Like, for example, if you want to drag an object over time, where it is going, where it is placing, like an airplane and many more. So that's applications. Now let's see what a Gaussian process is. Starting with the definition. For any set S1, a Gaussian process GP is a set of random variables Zt where D are elements and belong to set S, such that they have property that is for any n and for any T1 approaches to Tn in S set, the vector Zt1 is approaches to Ztn is a Gaussian or multivariate Gaussian, where Zt1 and Ztn is called finite dimensional distribution. For understanding the Gaussian process, we must have knowledge about multivariate Gaussian. Now, multivariate Gaussian is a generalization of one-dimensional univariate normal distribution to higher dimensions. One definition is that a random vector is said to be k-variate normally distributed if every linear combination of its k components have a univariate normal distribution. The multivariate normal distribution is often used to describe at least approximately any set of possibly correlated real-valued random variables, each of which cluster around a mean value. Hence, Gaussian process is very useful in machine learning and much more. This is widely used in various fields of physics, geology, meteorology, etc. Last but not the least, let me share with you some properties of cross-correlation and autocorrelation functions. Starting with cross-correlation functions. These properties can also be treated for energy signal. So, first property is cross-correlation function exhibits the conjugate symmetry. That is, that is R12 of tau is equal to R21 of minus tau. This is because the cross correlation is not commutative in nature. Now, moving towards the second property, Second property states that if R12 of 0 is equals to 0, then the signals are said to be orthogonal. That is, cross correlation function at origin will show maximum value. That means at R12 of 0 is equals to 0, cross correlation function are statistically independent. Now moving towards the last property. The third property says that if you consider a Fourier transform of cross correlation functions R12 of tau, then that will be equivalent to multiplication of individual Fourier transforms, and we need to consider the complex conjugate for second transform if these signals are complex signals. That means R12 of tau, if we consider Fourier transform, then we will get x1 of omega into x2 star of omega. With this, the properties of cross correlation function are completed. Now let's see the proof of the cross correlation function properties. First property of cross correlation function. This is the proof of second correlation property function. This is the third proof, and with this the cross correlation function properties are completed. So the first property of autocorrelation function is for the energy signal also. Autocorrelation function exhibits conjugate symmetry, same as the cross correlation functions. That means R of tau is equal to R star of minus tau. Now the second property of autocorrelation is that the energy is also for the energy of a signal, and it says that Rxx of 0 is equal to the integration of mod of x of t square whole square dt, where the limits are from minus infinity to positive infinity. Now moving towards this property also works for power signals, as Rxx of 0 is equals to limit t of approaching to infinity 1 over t, integration of mod of x t whole square dt, limits being minus t to t by 2 to t by 2. Now the next property of autocorrelation function states that Rxy of tau is equivalent to under root of Rxx of 0 into Ryy of 0. So this property is also for cross correlation, that is expectation of x plus expectation of y is equals to under root of expectation of x into expectation of y. Now last but not the least, autocorrelation function is periodic with same time t if x of t is periodic with same period t. That means for x of t plus t is equals to x of t, then Rxx tau plus t. So with this slide I would like to end my presentation. Thank you for being with me. This is Sanchit Pathak signing out.